There was an announcement that we will open up the show with momentarily that got me very excited because, of course, I am a gray beard. And I did shave, so I don't have a gray beard today, but I am a gray beard in stature and in age. And, of course, I'm talking about Marvel's Cosmic Invasion. And it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up, folks. We're going to play the trailer. Hopefully I don't get flagged by Marvel. I want to do a quick screen share because I'm a big nerd, folks. You guys know that. I'm a Marvel stan. I'm a big fan of the MCU, and of course, phases 4 and 5 not the greatest, to be quite honest with you. There was a lot of bad decisions made by Kevin Feige and the team that is no longer there because he basically fired everyone. I'm watching, and as you should be, Daredevil: Born Again, which is really good. But you can tell that there was a lot of stuff that was left in there from the show that they revised. And there's a lot of really good stuff. The next 3 episodes should be absolutely incredible. But I got to show you this trailer. Now, look, Fuzzy, I don't know how excited you are for games of this stature.
Oh, for beat 'em ups? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, excellent. So there you go, folks. He's excited for beat 'em ups, as am I. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you the trailer for Marvel's Cosmic Invasion. This looks to be absolutely incredible. Now, I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly what I need in my life. Now, look, I've been saying this for quite a long time, that we don't have enough side-scrolling beat-em-ups. Well, that kind of changed this year, Fuzzy. And again, this is a bit of a mini topic to open up the show before we get into 2 of the big ones. But this year, we have seen quite a few of them. The Power Rangers one came out. I bought it. It's incredible. You also had G.I. Joe: Wrath of Cobra, which was another one that is, if you are an 80s G.I. Joe fan, you must get this in your life. Mayhem Brawler 1 is something that's been out for a couple of years. Mayhem Brawler 2 is releasing this year. If you did not play the original and you were a fan of Final Fight, you should definitely give it a shot because it is really fantastic. As a matter of fact, it's so good because it's told in a comic book-esque form and factor that you pick your path. So you're presented with 2 covers for 2 different comic books, and depending on the path you choose is depending on the way the story goes. And I think you do that 6 or 7 times, which means that game has a significant amount of replayable value to it, because again, if you pick the book on the left, you're not going to get the story that's on the right. You should definitely check out Mayhem Brawler 1, Mayhem Brawler 2 coming out this year. You also have Towerborn on the 29th of April. That is a side-scrolling beat-em-up RPG. That looks to be something I've been waiting for a very long time. But listen, if you are a graybeard like me, you remember going to the arcades. Now, for me, it was Nathan's Arcade on Central Avenue in Yonkers, New York. And I told you, you heard me talk about this before. They had about 200 cabinets. It was a massive arcade. And they used to section it off really nice. They had fighters, they had shooters, they had racers, but they also had a section for side-scrolling beat 'em ups where you saw TMNT, both the original and Turtles in Time, again classic. Of course, if you remember the 4-player arcade of the Avengers, which was freaking amazing, but most people remember the 4-player, and it might have even been 5-player X-Men arcade game, which we've all been asking for in our lives and we still haven't gotten. Well, I'm here to tell you folks that if you are a fan of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles side-scrolling beat 'em up, this is the same developer, and now they have a Marvel project. Marvel Games has exploded on the scene. This is very old school. You can tell by just the way the graphics are. It looks phenomenal. And what's interesting, and I think that when you consider how many characters are available for Marvel as a whole, right? They only showed 7 characters. Folks, I'm here to tell you that if you look and you do some research, you're going to see that there are 15 slots for characters, which means that there are 8 unrevealed characters. And I would imagine you could see the likes of a Miles Morales. You can see Iron Man joining the fray. You can see Thor, Hulk for sure. Me personally, because I'm watching Daredevil, I'd like to see the Double D's. Pause for Daredevil. I'd like to see the Punisher be there as well. Fuzzy, let's get your thoughts and your theories on this, because again, this was revealed yesterday at the Nintendo show, which was okay. It is what it is. The Switch is on the end of its lifespan. They needed to show this, and a lot of it was indies. This was the big surprise, at least for me. Are you excited for Cosmic Invasion?
Oh yeah, like these side scroll beat 'em ups have been pretty much a staple early in my video gaming history, I guess you could say. And ever since the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and even the what was that? Not Street Fighter. Final Fight, or no,
Final Fight. Yeah, Streets of Rage is another one. But
Streets of Rage 4. That, like, once that hit, like ever since then, it sparked that interest in those style games all over again. And I'm glad that someone's bringing them back. Like that's the stuff that it's like, and especially the fact that it's co-op, so you and your buddies could just go in and just like rip through these and as fast as you can. You can either do like the time runs, or you could just go through, unlocking other characters by completing some of the levels and things along those lines. So I love these type of games. They're like I wouldn't say the mindless, type of games, but they are a bunch of fun where you don't have to put as much effort into like your build or what gear you need for, completing this particular, event type of thing. Like I'm big into looter shooters, but this is like the I guess the break from that, where you don't have to have the spreadsheet out to make sure that you're going as great, or your build is as great as it can be type of thing. You're just going through, punching a bunch of bad guys, getting to the end, saving either the girl or the kidnapped people, or you're rescuing friends and stuff like that. So it's awesome that these games are coming back. Like I seen somebody say, like The Simpsons would be another nice one if they could bring that back.
Yes, holy cow.
But yeah, considering with Marvel, if they continue this path, I think this would be one that we all need to support, so we can see like an X-Men 1 come back type of deal. But yeah, I'm definitely picking this one up. There's some other ones, like there's a Toxic Avenger one that should be coming out soon.
Yes.
And there's a Jay and Silent Bob one that's also in development right now that I'm kind of waiting for as well. So yeah, there's a ton of them that, whether it's part of our childhood or young adulthood kind of thing, I'm glad these things are making a comeback, and I can't wait till this thing releases.
Yeah, if you go to the Xbox store, now I'm assuming that this would be on the Switch as well as the PlayStation Network store, so it doesn't matter. It's not console war rhetoric. It's just if where I saw it. If you go to the store now and you scroll all the way down to the coming soon games, there is a new Double Dragon that they're making, and it looks really freaking awesome. Now there's, I think, a $34.99 version, and there is a $50 version. Of course, I always buy the bigger editions, even if it's from stupid outfits, whatever. But I already got that pre-ordered. Like you said, the Toxic Crusaders, as it's called. Again, if you're an old school 80s kid, you remember Toxic Avenger, how that wasn't even a B movie. That was like a G movie. Like it was so cheap in Charlie that we laugh talking about it, but it was it's part of our it's part of our growing up. That's one that's coming out as well. They have actually a few, and I gotta say, man, I don't think anyone from Capcom listens to this show. It's fine, but as you know, through emulation and having a Raspberry Pi, and now I had a Steam Deck, and now Rag Ally, I play at least once a year one of my favorite side-scrolling beat 'em ups of all time, and it's Aliens versus Predator. My God, what an amazing side-scrolling beat 'em up! It's in the graphics and form and factor of Final Fight, but it's so freaking amazing. And you know what's interesting? Capcom did release one version of it at home. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, they released this thing. It was a double arcade stick, and that you plugged into your TV. It was a plug and play device. It was about $200. I think my friend Jada Destroyer still has his. But it's like, if I had a man cave, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'd spend $200 on this just to get that one game, because that was on it. Aliens versus Predator, the real actual ROM from the arcades, is on this thing. But we're in an apartment. I barely have enough room for the controllers that are hanging on my wall here. So, but if I had to ask or even beg, and I will beg, folks, I hate to say this, please, for the love of Joe, not Joe Dunmore, shout out to you, brother, for the love of the gaming gods themselves, Capcom, please release a home version of this thing anywhere else. I don't care if it's a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Just release it so I can play it. But that's not where this conversation ends, because the one thing that we've seen Capcom, first of all, they have been hitting on all cylinders. They don't miss, folks. They just don't. And a Monster Hunter, I don't even know what it's called, Monster Hunter whatever, is obviously doing really well for them. They have Onimusha 2 from the PlayStation 1. I already have that pre-ordered because I bought the first one and beat it. It's, again, those games were the Souls games before there was such thing as Souls games, because they were freaking hard as hell, but they were awesome. And obviously, they keep going back to the well with their older stuff. I don't know if it's in the cards, Fuzzy, but I would really, really love if they went back and they remade or started a new one, rebooted the series of Final Fight, because I think just by seeing how popular the Turtles were, how many people bought, including myself, the Power Rangers one. Again, if you were a Power Rangers fan and you didn't know this was out, you need this in your life. It is so freaking amazing. Do you want a new Final Fight, Fuzzy Belvedere?
A new Final Fight would be awesome. I've been thinking with Capcom, a Final Fight, and the one that I keep asking for is like a updated version of like a Street Fighter versus SNK. But that's a whole nother story. We did get, what was that?
That's coming out soon. That actually, you can pre-order that now. It's the old ROMs, but they're like from the Dreamcast. I'm buying it. I already paid for it. So.
Yeah, I would definitely like them to do a newer version, but like a Final Fight would be an awesome one for them to release. Like I'm hoping they have like a roadmap for a lot of these fighters that they've had success with for all these years and things, and just they got to bring them back. They have to bring them back at some point, even if it's just that it's a remaster or something along those lines. They've been successful. They've been probably the most successful with remasters. I mean, sure, PlayStation does a lot of remasters, but it seems like Capcom has been hitting on all cylinders as far as that's concerned, except for like a Dino Crisis. That's about the thing they haven't done
yet. Which is, by the way, rumored, because if you didn't know, we didn't talk about this. I'm very surprised we didn't talk about this. And if you say Dino Crisis, usually BitCloud shows up, because that dude is as obsessive over it as I am. But they did re-up the license in Japan. Now, what does that mean? I don't know, man. I hope what that means is that we do get listen, just give it the Resident 2 remakes treatment. Just make it Dino Crisis, because they are doing an Onimusha 4, which is great. I would love for them to just remake Dino Crisis, because Dino Crisis is, my God, one of my favorite games during that PlayStation era. But please, sir, continue.
Yeah, Capcom is one of those fortunate developers that they have a great back catalog of IP, and they're actually utilizing it to some extent. A handful of the fan favorites haven't made it just yet, but if they're renewing the IP or the licensing for it, then hopefully it's something in development. But yeah, Final Fight is one of those that they got to bring back. They got to, yeah, it just needs to happen. Hopefully, whether they're listening or hopefully we can get enough people on social media to start posting, hey, where's Final Fight, or return to Final Fight. That would be awesome. But yeah, that's definitely one they need to bring back.